News outlets, journalism, journalists, they know that if they put out there a headline that sucks, they're going to catch attention, just like we did with this video. For me, remembering that, I understand that it's a lot easier to put a bad taste in people's mouth about Kratom or Kava or Botanicals because there's more negative news coverage than there is positive. What was the worst story, Alex, that you've ever seen about Kratom? What frustrated you the most?
I think the worst story, and there's many of them that have come to light like this, where they'll say the person dies from acute mitragynine toxicity, and in reality, they might have found some kratom at the scene. He might have had kratom in his system earlier that day. What ended up happening is they do a more thorough toxicity report and find that, oh, he had high amounts of prescription pills in his system, or he has high amounts of alcohol in his system, and they don't report on that. And the reason they don't report on that is because it's much easier to go after an industry with not nearly as much money, say, as big pharma. A lot of times just not getting the full truth, and then later finding out after the fact, like, oh, it actually wasn't the kratom, it was a combination of things, which on all of our packaging, you'll see these warning labels, and we are also very upfront about any types of contraindication. Just making sure that kind of have to do more research and do a little bit more digging than taking every article at face value.
You mentioned a key point, acute mitragynine toxicity. They don't have an established level of what that is. When you're reading an article and that article does not explicitly state that this person had no other intoxicants in their system, then you have your answer. Because if that were the case, they would have leaned into that in the journalism. They would have said, oh my God, what is this plant that's being sold behind the counter of a gas station that killed this 23-year-old person, who, by the way, we did a full toxicology report and there was nothing in their system. Omission, or the failure to describe certain circumstances in these news articles, often is an answer in and of itself. And there's this old business phrase, no answer is an answer. Acute mitragynine toxicity, I always call BS on that, because I'm like, well, then what's the level? Tell us what the level is. How much MIT is going to actually cause a harmful side effect? I mean, we've done a lot of studies in laboratory settings with other mammals, and what we've decided that only in severe cases of mitragynine consumption do you start to see harmful side effects. Kratom is one of the only opiate-like substances that does not suppress the respiratory system unless combined with other depressants, unless used irresponsibly and in high doses.